how do I color correct and color grade my videos in Adobe Premiere Pro. Well, this is a question I get a lot, and today's video is all about how do I color correct and color grade my videos in Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, this tutorial is especially focused on the Sony SLOG2 footage because that's what I shoot on, and I use the Sony cameras for making my videos and taking photos. But if you're coming from Canon, Leica, Panasonic, or Sony, anything like that, do not worry because the technique is always the same. So whenever you deal with colors, you have two things. One, color correction, and then you have the color grading. So color correction is something like you adjust the highlights, the exposure, the white balance, in order to you have to make your footage look presentable. And then color grading is the way you want your videos to look. For example, you want them to look more dark and moody, or you want to add the teal and orange color just like we see in the Hollywood movies. So without further delay, let's get into the tutorial. Alright, we are in the Adobe Premiere Pro, and these are the three shots that you saw in the intro. Right now these are in the SLOG2 ungraded version, and I'm gonna edit them. So before we start, you can go to the top menus. We have different options like editing, colors, effects, graphics, etc. So you have to select the color tab because there you can see more options. Now, so many people will be commenting here. They will say, oh, I can't see these panels, these dedicated panels. And then I'll ask them like, okay, what version are you using? They'll say, oh, I'm using the Adobe Premiere CS5, hee. So you have to upgrade, and so then you can follow this tutorial. Alright, so we will go to the colors, and then don't do anything, just go straight to the Lumetri Scopes. Now, if you can't see this option, maybe you can click these 3-4 dots, and you have so many options, so make sure it's turned on. This is your best friend because most of the times what this can see, which our eyes can't see. So you have to really adjust the curves and all those highlights and shadows based on the curves. So this is a very helpful tool here implemented in the color tabs. Okay, so what the concept is normally that this graph should not go below 0 and should not go above 100, so it should not crush the highlights as well as the shadows. Now if you look at this footage is totally not graded, but still these curves and these highlights are in a very optimal range, ranging from almost 15 to 82, 83. Why? Because when I'm shooting my videos, I shoot in SLOG2, but like I really take care of the exposure and everything. I use my ND filters and all that stuff, so that's why you can't see. But most of the times people who are like very not so professional or just starting, you will see their highlights very blown away, reaching up to 120 or like above the 100, and their shadows will be really dark. But this footage, as you can see, it's very nicely exposed, so we don't have a lot of work to do. But I'm gonna see what we can do much more to make it really like pop out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do normally is I will go to the right side Lumetri color, and first, okay, you can click on the shadows, then go to the color wheels and match, and we have to really stretch the footage to the end. I will touch the shadows, so bring it down, make sure it doesn't touch the 0. Okay, alright, and then go to the highlights and you can stretch it further towards 100. Okay, but be careful, you can keep some distance there. And then if you look at the footage, it's really nicely exposed. The sky is not blown, anything is perfect, but I will still tweak the midtones a little. So I will play with the midtones, and then I will stretch down the shadows again, so you can see like it's really popping out. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I will now go to the basic correction. I have to set the temperature. I think I really like this temperature. I'm not gonna do anything with the temperature. I will go to the tint and bring it towards a little the green, because we have so many planes here, so we have to complement the green color here. And I'm not gonna touch any exposure. It's great. Oh, I like things very contrasty, so I'm gonna take it, let's say 15, maybe a little more, let's say 30. Oops, sorry, 30. Okay, I like that. And then go to the highlights. You can do is you can dial down the highlights more, but not too much. Okay, let's say there. All right, because we have to make things look really natural. And then go to the shadows. Since we have so many planes in shadowed area, you have to add that mood. I go to the white balance. No, I'm not going to touch the white balance. Okay, now go to the creative tab, and if you have any LUTs already, like so many people use LUTs or buy LUTs, that's the easiest way. The lookup tables, you can just go there and apply any LUT, like this one or this one. They really look good, but I'm not going to do that because we have to learn things manually, so I'll make it back to none. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I have to go to the Vibrance and I have to add more color. Okay, look them really pop out, and since it's the SLOG2 footage, you can stretch as much as you want. There is no, but I'll not go above 60. Okay, sorry. And then the saturation, okay, do not oversaturate your footage. Let's make it to, okay, 130 is okay. 130. Okay, now go down. Okay, we have this option in the creative tab, that is the faded, so it will add a little because things will not look so sharp, and I really like this feel. I'll normally make it to 20. Okay, so it softens or sort of like fades out the image a little bit and looks very cinematic. Okay, then go into the curves. I never touch the curves. I'm not a fan of curves. I'm gonna not go into the HSL because we don't have any face or humans here, so I'm not gonna touch this thing. And I'm gonna teaching you like the easiest way. Then you go to the vignette, and I always like to add some vignette. Let's not too much. Okay, let's say -10. Yeah, I think it's still too much. -3 maybe. Okay, yeah, okay, or maybe -2. Yeah, I really like that one. I think it's still here. Let's make it to -1. Okay, great. It's looking amazing. So now what you can see is you can go to the effects and controls, and now you can see the difference. Okay, where is the Lumetri color? You see, from here to here. Isn't that a magic? Okay, cool. So now we have the rest of the two clips. We have two options to deal with it. One, you can just simply go to the first clip that we already color graded, and since they are shot in the same time or in the same location, you can just copy and paste the rest of the color grading settings. But if you have shots that are not shot on the same time or in the same location, then you have to adjust everyone separately. I'm gonna teach you both. Okay, so first, it's very easy. Just click the Lumetri, Command C to copy. I'm using Mac for Windows. You can say Control C. Okay, now we have this sequence, and it is also not color graded. You can just click here and Command V. Ooh, that's amazing. See, look at the sky, look at the leaves and the texture, everything looking amazing. And the same case, you can go for this one, okay, and you can just Command V. Oh my god, isn't that a magic? So you can just, if your shots are, if you have made videos on the same time, it's really easy to just copy and paste. Okay, now see how does it look. Oh my god, it looks amazing. But what I'm gonna do is, this is the easiest way, so I will try to add different looks to the different sequences. Okay, so delete, and this one also just delete. Okay, cool. Now go into this one. I'm gonna do something really quickly. Go into the Lumetri Scopes. I can't work without them. Go into the color wheels and match. Bring down the shadows. Yeah, and the highlights. Since we have sky here, you need to be very careful because it was shot in the afternoon, not on the afternoon, but like almost at noon. Okay, and then go into the basic correction, exposure, not too much, contrast, let's give it to 30 because we have blacks here, so I would really like them to pop out. Let's make it to 40. Oh my god, looks amazing. Do not be miser, okay? Just be generous with any settings. And then of course we have the option to dial down back. So yeah, just be bold. Highlights, I think I would like some highlights here. Okay, blacks, I have to deal with blacks. You can see the 0 is almost touching, so we need to go a little up. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is go to the creative tab, add some fade, let's say 10, and sharpen, no sharpen, vibrance, of course, man. And then saturation, let's make it to 150. Cool. And we have the HSL, okay, the amount -2, not, yeah, because we have sky, this is looking amazing, so I will not hesitate to edit -2 vignette. And then what I'm gonna do is, since it's very, I'm gonna change lab with the temperature. Yes, make it a little warmer, okay, not too much, but just a little. And the tint should be a little green. Yeah, that's right there. Let's move to 3.2. Okay, cool. And anything else? No, I think it's looking great. And now go to the last footage, and here this footage is looking very interesting, but especially this is a moving scene. So when you go at the end, you have, like here, it's okay, it's properly exposed, but when you go to the end, you see a lot of highlights. So this becomes a little bit of challenging because you don't want the colors to be moving. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first do this part of it, and I'll just simply start from the wheels. Okay, so this is like the third time I'm repeating everything. See, I hope you're following me. Go to the shadows, just take it down, go to the highlights. No, you should bring the highlights down even from here, because you know that when the camera moves, then the sky is shown and then the highlights are like totally blown away, even if you blow it here and the start, which is looking good. So what you are going to do is you have to put the highlights down as well, and still make sure that the footage is properly exposed even when it's the dark. Okay, and then put the highlights up, not too much. Okay, cool. Go to the basic correction, tint a little. Yeah, exposure, no, do not expose it, because we have the sky there. Make it very contrasty. I like contrasts a lot. Highlights, no highlights. I'm not a fan of highlights. And then shadows, of course. And then go to the creative tab, go make it to 20, and the vibrance, let's say 50. Sorry, here. Yeah, the vibrance should be 50, and the saturation, let's say 120. Okay, now go to the vignettes, and amount should be -2. Yeah, that's perfect. Now you can see here, even when the footage goes up, you don't see any highlights to be blown, and it's looking perfect. So now you can go back to the effects and control and toggle to see what difference did we make. This to this. That's it, guys. It's so easy. You must be watching so many tutorials where people will be thinking, oh, there are so many like corrections and creative tabs and wheels and scopes, and you know, things are like very overwhelming to you. But to be honest, they're not telling you the truth. It is this easy. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys like to watch similar content, please do not hesitate to consider subscribing. Once again, this is your host Amir, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.